and welcome to today's video. This video is part of my declutter series where I go through my collection, declutter things I don't use or have expired, and keep only things I know I will use. In this video, we'll go through my Makeup Revolution collection, so let's get into it. So I want to add to this video that I have been very unwell lately. I honestly don't yet know what's going on with me, how serious it is, but I have been having a lot of issues and I haven't been able to be as active on social media as I usually am, and that has really affected my content. But today I felt slightly bit better and I felt like I could probably finish one video. Since I don't really know what's going on with me and how serious, I don't want to go into it too much, but I just wanted to let you know. If you have time, please send me some healing vibes. I'd really appreciate it. But these are all the items in my collection from Makeup Revolution. Now, Makeup Revolution isn't a brand that I typically gravitate towards, but at one point I did purchase quite a few products from them. As you can see, it's not as big of a declutter as some of my other brands. It's mostly because, you know, Makeup Revolution has not been a brand that I have gravitated towards. But let's start with obvious declutters. I have this Vivid Baked highlighter that has crystallized completely. This is super old. It's also dusty. I don't know why I held on to it. This was one of the first highlighters I ever bought, and it must be like, I want to say 8 years old or something like that. I remember someone, I want to say it was like one of the Kardashians or something like that, was speaking so highly about this highlighter that I purchased it without even thinking, do I use highlighter or whatever. It seems like it was one of those miracle products, and I used some of it, I can tell, but this must be 8 to 10 years old because I've never seen makeup crystallize like that. It looks really interesting, but this is definitely an item I'm going to let go of. Another item that has got to go is this I Heart Revolution I Heart Chocolate Lip Gloss. Also super old, and Revolution Makeup has multiple different brands, and I have a couple of them here. I have the Makeup Revolution, then I Heart Revolution, and I think I have the Re-Love, I believe it was called. That's from Walmart. But I was able to swatch this lip gloss. It's in the shade Chocolate Brownie, and it actually looks pretty good, but it is several years old, so I am going to let go of it. But I think once upon a time I did like this shade a lot. It's really pretty, kind of this nudie shade. The lip gloss is your average lip gloss. I remember thinking that it's bad or exceptional either. So it's just old and has to go. And then I have their liquid highlighter in Liquid Starlight. And this was kind of your Cover FX dupe. I swatched it right there. It's also very old. It was beautiful. And I purchased a couple of Cover FX ones that I think I still have, but I ended up not using them. Liquid highlighter isn't really a thing for me anymore. I don't know if it ever was. So I'm gonna let go of this because, again, I don't know how many years old this is, and it was a little bit hard to get it out of here, so I think it's gone bad. I'm just looking at it in the sunlight. How beautiful is that? I can see why I purchased it. And here's another thing that I think survived one of my other declutters, but it's time for it to go. It is their Unicorn Foil kind of creamy eyeshadow, and this was more of an eyeshadow topper. Very pretty, kind of this iridescent shade. It's right here if you can see it, but it doesn't feel that smooth anymore. It felt a little clumpy, so I think it's gone bad. I had this, and then I had a bunch of these similar ones from JCat Beauty that I used to really enjoy, but I don't want to use any expired products on my eyes, so this one has got to go. Another expired product is the matte blush from Revolution in the shade Divine, and this one, although I look at it, it has changed colors in parts. I think I'm gonna have to let go of it. But this was the baby pink before it was cool to have baby pink shade. I remember really enjoying this one, and I've used it so much that some of the embossment is gone, which is a lot for me because I have a lot of products. So this used to be a favorite product once upon a time, but now there's like clear splotches of different colors, so I'm gonna have to let it go. But this is a really nice matte blush formula. If they still make it, I could purchase it. I don't need one, but I could if I needed to from this line. Very nicely pigmented, and I remember it being pretty easy to blend as well. Here's a blast from the past. This is their triple baked highlighter in the Goddess of Love, and this one was their answer to those Too Faced. I believe they were also heart-shaped blushes and highlighters. This one was one of my favorites, and it actually still worked just fine. Right here, the sun is at the stage where it's really hard to see some of these swatches, but this is going into my memory box. This was one of those things that I absolutely loved once upon a time. I probably won't use it, but I do want to hold on it because it is, you know, a memory piece for me. Here's another thing that I think I can let go of. It smells really off. So this is their Conceal and Define Concealer, and everyone used to really enjoy these. I can see that it's gone bad. This is in the color Cool One, which was once upon a time quite difficult to find kind of cool toned concealers, and this one was really good. Here it is. I've used it quite a bit, but now the rest of it has expired, so I'm gonna let go of it. I don't need any new concealers, but this is a good one on the budget. So far I've let everything go that I have in here, and I can see one that's definitely going to go as well. This is their Fierce as Fire makeup pigment palette, and I don't think I even swatched this. Actually, I have not even opened it. The reason why I didn't is because it says here on the bottom that most of these are not suitable for use in the eye area, and that's what I would have used this in, so I never opened it. And I know people take that as a grain of salt, like some people absolutely follow these rules, some don't, but I have very sensitive eyes and sensitive skin, so I tend to not use products that are not recommended around eye area. I mean, I'm sure I've made exceptions that I haven't noticed, but this color story isn't that interesting to me. I believe it's mostly shimmer, and there's a couple of mattes in here. I'm gonna see if someone would like this. This might be quite old as well. I was never interested in it, which is why I never used it, and I'm letting go of it now. As for products I'm definitely keeping is this one. It is one of their very viral products. It is their Ultra Cream Bronzer in the shade Light. I swatched it there, if you can see. I have used this a few times. I just take a little bit on my fingertip and kind of paint it on my cheek for bronzer. I love this formula. It's so easy to blend. It is great for if you have drier skin. I think if you have super oily skin, this might wear off, but you might just add powder on top of it, powder bronzer or something to hold it on. But I really like this and definitely am going to keep it. Another thing I'm keeping is from their Relove. This is the Walmart exclusive line. This is their Duo Blush in the shade Kindness. And this highlight is too deep for me, but I've used it as kind of a blush topper, and these two shades together look really beautiful. I have used them multiple times, and here's a little swatch of that blush right here. It's this kind of very natural looking. It can be very pigmented, but you only need a little bit, and since it blends so easily, it has been something I've used quite a bit. Now, this Relove line from Makeup Revolution is like only a couple of dollars. I want to say this was $3. This Duo at Walmart, super affordable. I think the quality is really good, and I've really enjoyed this one, so I'm going to hold on to it. However, this other Relove item I have here, I'm going to let go of it. It's their Baby Tint, and this is kind of a lip and cheek tint, but to me, it honestly feels like more of a lip tint. It was too sticky, too glossy on my cheeks, and I never ended up using it. And I think it's even separated in here, and this is not very old. I want to say I purchased it within a year, so I'm gonna let go of this just because it looks kind of wonky, but I would not repurchase this unless this is a shade that I definitely want on my lips. But for cheeks, I did not like this. And I have a ton of lip products, so I don't need this one. I'm letting go of it. The rest of the items are palettes, and these are going to be very difficult for me, but I think I am ready to let go of their Pro HD Amplified palette. Now this one was one of those palettes on the golden age of highlighter when we all purchased, well, we as in me, we purchased a ton of different highlighters, and right now I couldn't even imagine purchasing a fully highlight palette. That isn't something that I'm interested in any shape or form. And I was even thinking, would I want this to be in my memory box? No, I don't care about it that much. I did use it quite a bit. These shades are absolutely beautiful. Some of these were more like blush toppers, like that shade Lit. And then this corner shade, which was really a dry now, Whistle. These were perfect blush toppers. And if this wasn't quite so old, I would maybe hang on to it just because those two shades would work as blushes for me, but I don't use the highlight shades. The formula is now very dry, even though the pigment is there. So I'm gonna let go of this HD Pro Amplified palette that once upon a time was a favorite, but I no longer purchase these kind of palettes. Then I have this palette that is going to my memory box. This is their Fortune Favors the Brave, and this was one of the first palettes that I ever bought when I got into makeup. It was one of those things that had it all. It has super tiny eyeshadows, and as you can see, I've used them quite a bit. There's a big dent on these two mattes, and then there was some deeper blues and greens, and I even remember looking through YouTube finding tutorials for just this palette, and I found several of them. So this was just one of those OG palettes to me. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely gone bad by now. I would say 8 to 10 years old, but it holds such fond memories for me, so I'm gonna hold on to it, but I won't be using it. Here are two palettes that I once upon a time purchased because I really enjoyed, or I still do, Emily Noel's YouTube channel. She did a collab with Revolution, and I just checked that it was 5 years ago when she did this collab. There was the Needs palette, and this one had your basic shades. You could create a basic eye look. It also had a highlighter, blush, and bronzer. And then I think this was kind of like a setting powder. It had everything you kind of needed for a basic look, plus a nice mirror. That was one of the things I really appreciated from Emily, because she clearly knows what she's doing. So she put huge mirrors in these, and also the names were on the colors. And I remember her naming like some of these shades with her children's name. And this one, I actually did like it. It didn't pack a huge pigment punch, but these were really easy to use. I followed her tutorial. She showed how to use all these colors, and I just got a lot out of this palette and really have enjoyed Emily. She's still active on YouTube. She creates such feel-good videos, and these two will definitely go into my memory box as memories. I won't be using them anymore. They're 5 years old. They're technically probably still okay, but I just have so much in my collection that I don't need these. I want to hold on to them just because they're Emily's palette. I also have 3 things from Soph X. And she is this kind of nail artist, I believe, but also dabbles in makeup from the UK. I don't have any personal relation to Soph X, but I just think she created really nice color stories. I have the highlighter palette here that I think I'm gonna let go of since I don't use the highlighters anymore like I used to. These are really beautiful highlighters, but I don't need this. It's your basic highlighter palette, but I won't use it, so I'm gonna let go of it. But then I have her original Soph X palette, and this one has, again, those names on this overlay, which I never really enjoyed. And then her Extra Spice edition, which I think was super popular, and this one has the names here. I think I'm ready to let go of the original Soph X. It had a lot of colors here, but they're pretty similar to each other. I feel like this was a neutral palette with too many almost duplicates, if you will, and I didn't really reach for it after the initial time. And like I said, Soph X isn't someone that I know outside of these palettes, but I think I'm gonna keep the Extra Spice. I think it's not quite as old as the other one, and I do like to have something from this collection. And this one is definitely, I felt like, was a higher quality palette. Not only were the names on the actual colors, but also all in all this looked a little bit more put together than the original Soph X palette. And that leaves one more palette, and this isn't quite as old. This is that XX Revolution. It's again one of their brands, and this one I got from Ulta once when it was really discounted. I just thought I'd get it, and absolutely love this packaging. This is really pretty, and I remember the XX had some really good formulas in general. These shades are absolutely stunning. I am a big fan of greens. So let me swatch a few of these. These are so easy to swatch. There's no mattes in this palette. It's just different shimmers. And one of my favorite shades is up here. There's no names on these either, but these greens are so beautiful. And then the other shades are pretty as well, but I think I gravitate towards the green more. There's like a neutral here, a pop of blue violety, and then some bronzy shades here. It is a really pretty palette. I haven't used it nearly enough to justify letting go of it quite yet, and I do like the formula. So these are all my Makeup Revolution and all the sister umbrella brands that they have that I currently have on my collection. I have 19 products here, which isn't too bad, but it's too much anyways. Now I am keeping only 4, and then I'm letting go of 15, which I think is my most successful declutter ever. I will say though, these 4 things I'm putting in my memory box, but I'm counting them as declutters because they will not stay in my collection. I have a specific kind of drawer system where I keep memory box items. They're going in there. And then I'm keeping these 2 eyeshadow palettes, this new favorite of a cream bronzer, and this blush palette that I think is just really worth the price. As I mentioned, the Emily Edits will stay in my memory box, so does this Fortune Favors the Brave and this Goddess of Love highlighter. The rest of these products, I'm almost tempted to put this in my memory box as well, because look at this crystal thing. I just think this is too funny that it is so old that it's done this. But yeah, I might actually add this in my memory box just as my first highlighter that I've ever purchased. But these are all going to be decluttered. Out of these, I think still usable might be the Soph X palette, and then this Fierce as Fire might be still usable. So I'm gonna see if anyone would like those, but the rest of these are going to be decluttered. Now I think decluttering 15, keeping 4 is truly a success story. Thank you so much for sharing this success story with me. If there are any Makeup Revolution products that you like, let us know in the comment section. What do you recommend? I'd be happy to check those out. If you have any recommendations, are there any products we should avoid? Let us know in the comment section. But these were all the items in my Makeup Revolution collection. Thank you so much for watching this declutter. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I hope you subscribe. And if you like these videos and want to see more of their kind, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. It would help me ever so much. But thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.